Welcome to our weekly maritime vlog. I'm Corey Ramsden with International Maritime Security Associates. This week we're giving you a piracy update. On the vlog, as you guys know, we've talked about piracy in the past, so we like to give you updates as we get statistics on different things that are happening with piracy around the world. There's a really good organization that we follow, and I would definitely recommend that you guys follow as well, called Oceans Beyond Piracy, and we'll have a link to their site and information down below. They put out reports throughout the year that talk about piracy in different parts of the world, but they also kind of center in on a couple of factors that are interesting that you don't see in a lot of the government reports. They talk about the human factor side of it and how this really affects crew members, along with the economic cost of piracy. So they've got some really interesting statistics that they put together. And with the 2017 report coming out, we thought it would be a great idea to take a look at some of the things that are happening. As you know, piracy has been around for a long time. It's just really come into the news starting in the early 2000s. And then as we got into probably 8 and 9, we saw a spike in piracy off the coast of Somalia and a decrease in piracy incidents in an area that was typically busy off of Southeast Asia. So the South China Sea, the Straits of Malacca, and those areas had typically been the piracy hotspots. But in the kind of the mid 2000s, 8 and 9, we saw that shift take place to Somalia. As things ramped up in that area, security teams came on board some of the commercial vessels, large yachts, and the cruise lines going through that area, along with a huge international naval presence. In 2012, we started to see those numbers in that area of the world start to drop off. Very interesting correlation. As numbers dropped off in that area of the world, we saw an increase of numbers in Southeast Asia. So we thought we would talk a little bit about some of the stats that we pulled out of the report from 2017. So I had to get my little cheat sheet together because there's a lot of really cool and interesting stats that I'm not smart enough to memorize, so I thought just put them down on the paper and let you guys kind of wade through them with us. We'll also, again, too, have a link to this report from the Oceans Beyond Piracy website, and really thank those guys for doing an incredible job of putting the stats together, but also really centering on, like we said, the financial and the human factors of this. So in 2017, there were 54 reported incidents off the coast of Somalia. So that kind of whole Somali operational region that has been hot in years past. That was up over 2016. So there was 27 incidents that were reported in 2016. The interesting piece of that statistic was in March of 2017, we had our first hijacking in 5 years in that region. There was 4 vessels in 2017 that were hijacked out of those 54 incidents. So it's interesting to see that as the economic conditions in Somalia start to deteriorate, that we start to see piracy go back up. Again, nowhere near the levels of kind of the 2008 and 9, 10 and those types. We also saw a huge increase in West Africa. So that would be the Gulf of Guinea area off the coast of Nigeria. In 2016, there was 95 incidents. We were up to 97 incidents last year. So it was pretty interesting. We saw a little bit of an increase, but those numbers have been continuing to go up over the last 2 or 3 years. And the violence in that part of the region is also increasing. One very interesting stat that we pulled out of this report was the increase in piracy reported incidents in Latin America. This was really interesting. In the Latin America Caribbean operation region, we typically don't see a lot. In 2016, there was 27. Last year, there was 71 reported incidents. And out of that, 64 of those incidents were in the territorial seas of a country. 42 of them involved large yachts. So specific targeting in this region towards large yachts. And that's, pretty apropos because there's a lot of large yachts that are in these areas in the Caribbean. There were 63 of these events that took place against vessels that were anchored. And there was reported that 55 of the incidents took place where the perpetrators had no arms, no weapons, no guns, nothing as part of that. So that was pretty interesting. 40 of them were robberies. There was 17 failed attempts and 1 hijacking. So that's really interesting to see that. And we're going to continue to monitor that from the standpoint of Latin America to see how things kind of progress in that part of the world. Whenever we talk about piracy, we always want to give just a couple of tips on how to protect yourself from this. Situational awareness and understanding where you are and what's going on around you is extremely important. So now I'm going to give a little bit of a plug for our ARMS software platform. Understanding risks, threats, and intelligence around you is key to understanding if this is a place that you want to go and more, or you want to anchor, or you even want to cross through. And that's kind of the point of the ARMS platform, is to be able to provide captains and crew members with that real-time intelligence to help you guys make those better decisions. To us, that's a key piece to really push that decision-making and that threat as far out as you possibly can, so you can decide, I don't even want to go to this anchorage because of potential issues there. The other thing is, understand the capabilities of your vessel and crew. If you are going into a high-risk area, those are two important factors to consider whether I should proceed or not. And in some cases, we actually recommend to our clients that there's some parts of the world that you should consider taking a security team. Hey, thanks for joining us this week. We really appreciate all of you guys that tune in, that subscribe to the channel, that like the videos. We would love to be able to connect with you guys and interact and be able to get topics that you want us to press forward in these vlogs. So make sure you connect to us through our social media that's detailed in the banner above and also in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified when we put out phenomenal content, even if I do say so myself. Also, hit the like button and share these videos with your friends, because most likely they're going to like this content as well. If there's anything we can do for you when it comes to maritime risk management, maritime regulatory compliance, or maritime security related issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions, because we're always happy to steer you in the right direction.